Hey bees, I'm Marie from Humblebee and Me, and today we are whipping up a fun, spritzy little bottle of Passionfruit Velvet Dry Oil Mist. So the general gist of this product is that it's like a body oil, but it's thin enough that you can mist it over your skin rather than sort of like shaking or pouring. And then you can just sort of spread that mist over the skin and it dries down really, really fast and has a really gorgeous, dry, ultra light, non-oily feel on the skin. Now, because we want this mist to, mist, it needs to be relatively thin. You can force thicker liquids through mister tops, but you can kind of go from getting this lovely mist to getting this it's just like jet of product, which is a thing I learned when I made myself a face mist that on first was like getting shot in the eye with a water pistol. So yeah, we want the bulk of the product to be very low viscosity so that we get a mist instead of a piff. So to that end, the bulk of this formulation is fractionated coconut oil, also known as medium chain triglycerides. The inspiration for this formulation actually came from me scrolling through the Glossier website and noticing their body hero dry oil mist, something to that effect. And that kind of triggered this memory from when I was reading about fractionated coconut oil on the Lotion Crafter website, and they included a note that it is thin enough that you can mist it. And so I saw oil mist, fractions. In addition to thin, lightweight fractionated coconut oil, the rest of our really lightweight base is made up from a combination of isopropyl myristate, which helps the overall product feel nice and dry on the skin, and cyclomethicone, which does more of the same, really helps it feel drier and lighter and gives a really gorgeous, expensive skin feel. To amp it up a little bit, I've also included some kind of fancy oils. So I've included some passion fruit oil and some jojoba oil, both of which are really lovely, lightweight, rich in vitamins, add, fantastic label if you like, ooh, passion fruit. If you don't have them, you could use a different fancy oil that you like. Just make sure that it is a relatively low viscosity one. So this is not the place to use like castor oil, for instance. That would be a bad idea for multiple reasons. But yeah, feel free to choose an exotic oil that you have and that you love. This is a great way to get it into a product that you can use, all over. I included a small amount of a fragrance oil at about 0.1%. I did play with some versions that use a little bit more, and I even made a version that uses way, way less, like 0.04%, I believe. And honestly, they all work just fine. I find that when you are, misting it over like a large surface area, post-shower, when you're still warm and massaging it in, even a very, very low usage rate comes through nicely throughout use. Those lower rates, I don't find, you don't notice it throughout the day. So if you like a little bit of scent at the time of use, but you don't want it to kind of follow you through the day, you can definitely use a fairly low amount to get that effect. And if you do like the sort of being a little bit more perfumed, kind of bumping it up to that 0.1, 0.2% range will do the trick. The making of this is crazy, crazy easy. I weigh everything into a beaker first, but you don't have to. You can just weigh everything straight into your bottle and then kind of cap, shake, and you are done. You will notice that some of the percentage amounts for this formulation are a little weird looking, and that is because I had a little bit of a snafu with my spreadsheet as I was working, and then when I went back to adjust so the formulation actually added up to 100%, we got a lot of really funny looking percentage numbers. So there's some more details on that on the blog, and honestly, I think if you wanted to round things up or down here or there to get prettier numbers, I doubt you would notice a difference, but I wanted to share with you, what I had made and fallen in love with, and it just happens to have a few decimal points. All right, I think that is enough chat. Let's go make this gorgeous body oil. So we're going to begin with the ingredients that will make up the bulk of this dry oil mist. So we've got 3 different lightweight emollients here. This first one is fractionated coconut oil or medium chain triglycerides, and we need 12.05 grams of that. And as you can see, I'm just weighing this straight into the beaker, taking care to go slowly and use the pipette so I don't overshoot. Definitely, the risk of weighing everything right into the beaker is that once you have more than one ingredient in here, if you overshoot it, you're a little bit hooped. So be careful. So you'll notice that I keep the disposable pipettes rubber banded to the side of the bottles here. With the oil does definitely break down the rubber band over time. This one is definitely on its way out. I can feel it's getting kind of slimy towards the end of its life. But yeah, this is a good way to be able to use your disposable pipettes several times before the pipette breaks down. So it helps reduce that single-use plastic a bit. So we'll need 3.75 grams of isopropyl myristate and 2.5 grams cyclomethicone or cyclopentasiloxane or isododecane, or if you need even more substitutions, please read the blog post. There's a lot more information there. That's linked in the description box below. And now for the fancy oils in this formulation. So I'm going to add 5 grams of passionfruit oil. This is from Mystic Moments, and this was a gift. If you're looking for substitutions, again, please make sure you're reading the blog post linked in the description box below. There's a lot of great information there, and in the Humblebee and Me encyclopedia. We'll also need 5 grams golden jojoba oil, or you could use refined. It doesn't have to be golden, that's just what I have. Looks like this pipette is on its way out. That's better. When it stops pulling up the amount of liquid that you're expecting it to pull up, that's usually an indication that one of the seams has split and you're not getting a good seal anymore, and that just happens over time when they sort of sit with oil and then the oil breaks down the plastic. And the sitting with oil in it comes from the pipette being, you know, upside down like this. Obviously we never can get quite all the oil out of the pipette, so there always ends up being a little bit that kind of ends up sloshing around in the bulb, which will, yeah, eventually cause the pipette to not work anymore. And then our last 2 ingredients, we're going to add some vitamin E. We'll need 0.125 grams of that. So this is an antioxidant that'll help extend the shelf life of the product by delaying rancidity. To learn more about this, make sure you are looking it up in the Humblebee and Me encyclopedia. It is under tocopherol. And when it comes to fragrance, I am using this one from Brambleberry. It's their signature Brambleberry fragrance. They sent this to me as a Christmas gift, and I haven't had a chance to try it yet, so I'm excited to give this a go. It's got a really nice kind of berry-ish scent, which I suppose isn't surprising, with some nice sort of dry, almost musky base notes. So we need just 0.025 grams, which honestly is probably just like 1 drop. Maybe 2, but this might overshoot it a bit. Okay, 0.03, oh, 0.04, yep. Probably should have just stopped at the 1, but that makes for a 0.01% fragrance, which is still really quite low. So that's it for the ingredients in here. If we get a bit of a close-up there, you can kind of get a feel for the neat different layers that I've got happening there. It's quite cool. So we'll give that a stir to combine. And that's it for making. So now all that's left is packaging. So for packaging, I'm going to use this frosted glass bottle from New Directions Aromatics with a mister top, because of course this is an oil mist. So first things first, we obviously need to trim this tube down. It is definitely too big. So I'm gonna fit this into our cap here and then kind of roughly line them up. Give that a snip. You want to sort of err on the side of it being a little bit too long rather than a little too short, since you can't really put more on, though this is long enough that you could easily have a second and possibly a third try if you really needed it, but that seems good. So yeah, let's fill her up. Stop and see kind of how much headroom I have when I pop that in there. Okay, it looks like I can get a little bit more. Ooh, that's probably pushing it. Yeah, that'll make a mess. All right. Can use that straight away after a bath or something. And to get that bottle looking its lovely best misty self again, the marks on it are just from the oil, from the product that we just made. So I've got a bit of isopropyl alcohol here. This is just the bottle that the isopropyl alcohol just normally comes in, and then this mister top is from Humblebee. It was a gift and it fits perfectly, so super, super handy. I'll just wipe that down. So that is it for this lovely Passionfruit Velvet Dry Oil Mist. So you can see that it does mist. It just comes out in a lovely spray. It's really lightweight, absolutely gorgeous. To just mist all over you and massage into the skin after a bath or a shower when your skin is still just like a little bit damp. But yeah, that's that. Pretty easy, very lovely, highly giftable, really enjoyable. Yeah, as always, if you need more information about this, substitutions, scaling, shelf life, links to places to buy all the ingredients, all that good stuff, make sure you are reading the full partner blog post linked in the description box below, and make sure you're looking up the ingredients in the Humblebee and Me encyclopedia as well to learn more. Yeah, thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.